I'm a win. I'm a win. I'm a winner one, I could never be you. Little me tools, no I can't be fooled. Little me tools, no I hate these dudes. I'm a winner one, I could never be you. Anything you could do, I could do better. I can do better than you. Anything you could do, I can do better. I can do better than you. Drop my first single, let's go, he rap. You thought it was a drought, that's cap. I get the front and I get the back. Lil Uzi the facts, like that's a rack. Bought some new boots just to wear them out. Bought a new Beamer, I run it to the ground. I used to say nothing, I bet they hear me now. Handle my business, no need to hear me out. Talking too much, say less. If it's less than a check, say less. If you can say it best, say less. I'm taking all best, say less. Talking too much, say less. If it's less than a check, say less. If you can say it best, say less. I'm taking all best, say less. I'm a winner one, I could never be you. Little me tools, no I can't be fooled. Little me tools, no I hate these dudes. I'm a winner one, I could never be you. Anything you could do, I could do better. I can do better than you. Anything you could do, I can do better. I can do better than you. Yeah, I could never borrow from no man. How you talking ownership and no land? I got my roll on, now rolling. I drive on my cars like they're stolen. You got on and put your homies out for ransom. I got on and put my homies on the program.
Anthony, good to see you, mate. We're down here at JRM Garage. Now, you've obviously been here a few times.
Obviously a few times.
Mate, had a lot of work done through here. Now, we have seen this car before as well, and you'll see that on Sunday sesh. It was when we first met you there. So we'll put a link up here somewhere for someone who wants to go along and check that out. But we're lucky enough to come along today and have a bit more in-depth look at the car.
Yep.
So now this has had an extensive amount of work done. Rookie error there with my notifications done too. But extensive amount of work done. Do you want to maybe go back to, you know, when you first bought the car?
Yep.
What was it to start with?
So to start with, I've actually known the car for a good close to 15 odd years. It was a friend of Rob and mine. He owned the car originally. I sold my O2 STI back in the day, and then this came up for sale, and I bought it. Rob's like, you have to buy it, they're going overseas. So I went and picked it up. It was just, still, it had a bit of mods done, had a Link G4 in it, made 230 odd kilowatt on 98, and it was a fun car to drive. Had water meth injection, things like that. And one day I turned to Rob and I was like, mate, it's time to start to do what we dreamed about. He's like, oh, what's that? I go, we're putting the H6 in.
Yeah.
And then leisurely love, time of love that came into this, and then 3 years later, here it is.
Now, I would imagine there's not too many of these conversions getting around, is there?
No, they're starting to get a bit more known now.
Yep.
But at the time, there was only a few going around.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And not many done properly on the street to this extent.
Now, and I'm amazed when you get in and you have a look underneath and just a real good in-depth look around it. It just looks like it's meant to be in there. It looks very factory, in a sense, you know, we've got a radiator in the boot and stuff like that, but, which is not very factory, but just the way that everything's set up there, it really does. It just looks so neat, doesn't it? So
that's what I wanted to go with. I wanted to keep it stealth, so if for instance, cops do decide to open the bonnet, they look, it looks fairly mild, which it's all done properly, and it's nice and hidden, bit of a stealth look. Yep. Apart from the radiator in the boot.
Yeah. and the full roll cage.
Yeah, and the full roll cage.
Now, and we've been out, we've had a bit of a run up and down the street. You've taken Tyler for a run around the block. He came back, I think his words was he's been in 900 horsepower cars and never felt power like he had in this. Yeah. But it's a different power, right?
It's a different power. It only makes just under 500 horsepower, but the power delivery is, you can't explain it. Like, taking people for a run, try to explain, you can't explain. You just got to jump in the car and go, and then they understand the power feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you can't talk about it.
And do you think it's that torque number as well?
That's what I think the big thing is that torque. And with these turbos, not an overly big turbo, and it's just the power. There's next to no lag. That's the only way we can picture it.
Okay, impressive. Now, what turbos are we running?
So we've got two TD06 18G billet SL2s.
Yeah.
Yep. So they got 3-inch V-band exhaust housings at the back.
Not too big, but plenty.
Yeah, just enough. So and a 45mm gate on each.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, there's a lot of engine management and stuff
Yes.
behind this as well, right? This is one thing that you think has helped this build.
That's the biggest thing. Sean from EFI Performance suggested we run the Mtron KV8, and he rewired the whole car. So we're running 2 Motec PDMs, running Motec Dash, the Mtron KV8, a whole list of sensors, and that's what I believe with his tuning and the engine management that we have in it is why it's, with the stock motor, it's loving it.
So you're really monitoring just about everything.
Pretty much, yeah. We got sensors for everything. So
Okay.
we've got exhaust back pressure sensors to make sure the turbos are, make sure they're right for it and everything.
You've
like
worked out how to read all that, and
Oh, I'll leave that up to Sean. If I find a problem, I'll give him the buzz.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And you've been really happy with the tune. And
Yeah, very
It's
happy.
tuned down, like
Yes, it's the torque's been. It should have made a lot more torque. It's only making about 850 now, but there's a lot of torque limits on it and the power limits. It's a very conservative tune.
yeah.
So there's still a lot more in it, but as always said, it's happy where it is. It's not breaking, so drive it and enjoy it.
And it's a stock gearbox.
Stock STI 6-speed gearbox.
Yeah,
Just has a twin plate XCD in it.
right.
Yeah, the whole driveline was it's got R180 diff in it, so it's a full O2 STI driveline in it.
Right. And a fairly large exhaust system going through there as
Yeah,
well.
so it's got twin 3 inches all the way through, a little cross pipe in it.
Yep.
And it gives it
Gives it a very nice sound.
Yeah, nice sound, that Porsche-esque sound.
Yeah. And obviously got the wrap. You've got JRM garage on there as well. Yeah, showing off where it's all done.
Yeah.
And you must get a few looks.
Oh, it does get the attention. It does. It turns some fingers, especially when it's on song on the street.
Yeah. And I guess that's the other thing. A lot of them don't stay on the street for that
No,
long of
that's
these conversions, right? So
Yeah.
and that's where you've been lucky. Now, we did mention before you got the radiator at the back. Obviously, there's just no room for that.
Yeah, definitely with a GC8 there is no room in the front, especially to make it efficient.
Yep.
You could possibly put a smaller radiator, push the front mount further out, but it's just too much hot air here, and it's just won't have enough.
Not
room
gonna work in Queensland.
No, not enough room to escape. And with putting the radiator in the back, we've noticed a lot of with the inlet temperatures is very low. There's no radiant heat in the engine bay, especially with a dry sump. All the hot stuff is in the boot, and intake temperatures is almost ambient. So,
Okay.
yeah, when it's on song.
Yeah, and you've got airflow going through in there as
Yeah.
well, so it's all set up to
So it's got two 16-inch 3000 CFM fans
right.
and an auxiliary water pump as well. So the way it's set up, it's completely sealed from the front side to the back side, so no air can go around, and so it goes completely straight through, and the fans do all the pulling from the top of the boot and then out the back.
Now, had you seen that design and followed that, or did it
Yes.
sort of
So there
had
was
to work it out?
friend of ours, mine and Sam, he designed. There was a design in the UK, so we did that, and with Andy Forrest as well. Andy Forrest was one of the leading guys with the EG33,
Yep.
1300 horsepower, world record holder for
A bit of
that.
information there.
Yeah, so he helped me a bit with it, and then with the radiator setup, kind of knew where he did it, and then kind of did our own thing with it as well. Took a bit of everything and then kind of put it all together.
And now you like to get this out on track a little bit as well, where you can.
Yeah, when I can, yeah.
Yeah, I know we were talking before, and you were itching for Power Cruise to come up.
Yeah, itching for that to come around
'Cause
again.
obviously roll cage, it limits us a little bit on different brekkie laps and things
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
right.
You said you might have to pull it out.
Might have to pull it out, make an appearance, but
Bit of a job too, I'd
yeah,
imagine.
it is. It's a good job to take it out, and then I got to put it back in.
You've had it out before,
I've had it out before, yeah.
and
So,
you would prefer it in? Do you feel?
I would prefer it in. Even last time I had it out was still with the 2 litre, and I prefer to even have it in, especially going through the mountains and just driving. Feel a lot safer with the cage.
Because that's full side intrusions. And
Yeah, that's the full. Is it AGI it's a full comprehensive cage at the time when I got it. I think there's the new ones that got a couple extra bars in it, but at the time it was a full bolt-in comprehensive cage.
No, and it's good. It's very well padded and
especially with power crews and stuff. All good.
And now you obviously get out there and you like just to scare a few blokes.
I like taking people for a bit of a run and go for a track.
Shut down a few of us boys in our V8s.
Try to, but I've been chopped a few times on some big V8s.
There's always someone quicker.
Exactly
there is
right.
always someone quicker. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter what you've got. Now,
it's all fun.
you gotta love it. What about any future plans? Is there anything that you've done? You're happy where it is now, or
at this point in time with that current setup, I'm happy. But for me to go any further, I'll need a sequential box. Because even if I take the limitations off this one, it will destroy this box as it is. But we are slowly. I've got a second motor, which will be forged internals, headwork, and we'll be pushing around. We'll aim for the 1,000 horsepower mark. But that's just down the track.
You've been surprised how some things have held up. Talk about axles and
So I've got drive shaft off billet stage 3 axles sitting still on the shelf in the workshop. We haven't needed to use them. Still running all stock. We thought we were going to break them and the drags, but we still got spare standard ones, but they've held up. They've been good, which I think the torque is what's helping it. Spinning the tyres is releasing the pressure off the drive line.
Instead of just putting all that instant straight on. It gives them a bit of a pressure outlet. Now, you mentioned the drags.
Yep.
So it has been down the quarter.
It has been there. First outing it did with a very doughy crap launch. It did a 12.4 on wastegate pressure. And that was shocking run. That was its very first outing. And it was very packed that night and we only got 3 runs. Second run, launch control didn't hit, and third run, he just wheel spun and was pointing to the wall. So. So that was just at the launch, and then 12.4 I can say was my best run to date.
It's obviously got a lot there.
It's got a lot in it, so
you've just got to get it down there.
Just got to get down, have some more practice.
It's not an easy thing.
No,
so now you mentioned that was on wastegate as well. So what boost are we running?
So it's about 13 to 15 pound on high boost, which isn't a lot and makes good power.
Okay.
That on is, E85.
And then flex?
No flex, just pure, straight E85.
Okay. And let's go back now and talk about other cars, because this is not your first car, surely?
No, definitely not my first one. So I've only had a couple. So I've had an 02 STI, which I owned that for a good 10 odd years, and that was like my little baby, making 230 kilowatts on 98 back in the day. It was a real fun car to drive. And then apart from that one, I had my first one, which was a Toyota Corolla.
Oh, okay,
Old Corolla Seeker.
There you go. And was it owning the STI? Was it owning that then?
It
drove you to think about the next step and where you were going.
With my cousin Rob, with the workshop and stuff like that, we've always been into Subarus. So when I had the 02, I was like, nah, I'm done with cars now. That was going to be the end. And then this came up. I was like, okay, it's cheap. I'll just be happy with it. And then it was like, nah, that's it. We're just going to go all out. This is going to be the last one. Let's just do everything what we wanted to this car and just keep it. That's it.
And I've noticed if you hang around Rob for any longer than 10 minutes, you start to know all the Subaru guys anywhere. So,
definitely.
they all seem to know Rob very well, and he knows them all, especially on the Gold Coast. So you're related to Rob as well.
Yep, Rob's my cousin. So
you had to get the Subaru bug. Now
that's it.
Plenty of them come through JRM Garage. We better give him a shout out.
Definitely do a lot. They do a lot of work for a few of the boys in
not just Subarus, but he does love working on Subarus. Owns a very nice one himself. Not a bad daily driver.
Yeah, very clean for a daily driver.
We'll throw a few shots of that in there as well. And we've spoken with Josh, who's hiding over there as well, listening to us. But you'll see him at the last Brekkie Laps video as well. He's frequently down here as well.
Yep.
And as I said, many of the Gold Coast locals and even Tyler Skyline's been on this hoist now.
Yep.
And, so you got to check these guys out and see what they do. And you can just see the quality of the work, right?
Do a wide range of work from your normal daily servicing, your just tune-ups to wild stuff like this.
Yeah.
So it's a one-stop shop kind of thing.
And it's hard once you got the bug, hey?
That's it. Once you got it, it's very hard to get rid of it. I tried to get rid of it. No, it wasn't happening.
It's an expensive bug.
Yeah, that's right. It's an expensive habit.
This is, I'm looking at this build, and I'm not going to ask the question, but there's obviously a few dollars have gone into it. There's a lot of parts and a lot of time. Well, maybe the time. How long?
So time-wise, I was away for a little bit, but from start to finish was a good 3 years.
Yeah.
And it could have been done quicker if we streamlined a few things in hindsight, but it was just take your time, had friends do things and stuff like that. It wasn't rushed. We thought of
What's up, Overtakers? We're back. Well, I'm back. Another week, another episode of Overtaking Live. How's everyone in the chat? I don't have anyone to talk over me this week, so I'm going to run out of breath talking. Let's do a quick shout out through the chat. We got Rob from JRM, Adam Geary, James Bayless, Crazy VN, Mal, Marf, Dang Dang. Keep scrolling through. Leon I saw earlier, Trevor Smith, Crazy VN, Matty Crick, No More, Paige, Sal. Dave's not in the chat this week. No Dave H. Sally H. Beck. I saw Brad as well. Let's see. Did I miss anyone? Gary Dundas. G'day, Gary. Yeah, no, yeah. I think I got everyone. If I missed you, make sure you drop another thing in the chat. I'll say g'day to you. So... another week, another episode. No Dave this week. He's gone, nowhere to be found. Maybe we'll have a segment about that a little later. So I'm controlling 2 laptops tonight. He'll jump in Discord chat and talk over me all show. You said you could. We need to have a quick show. Got plenty to do after the show. That's for sure. So of course, quick shout out to our sponsors. Oh, Dave H is in the chat. There we go. He's here. Quick shout out to the sponsor, Superformance. Yeah, Mal, he's just disappeared. He's just disappeared. His diet's gone so well. He's just paper thin. He's actually on his side at the moment. So if he turns back front, you might see him. Dave's not here, man. G'day, Zig. How you going? Scotty S. He's disappeared. Maybe we'll have a little bit about that on the show soon. Of course, proudly supported by Superformance, our first sponsor of the show, one of many nowadays, and they've been in the business for 40 years, doing awesome car builds. So check them out if you're after a top of the line show car. Live stream of Dave throwing in the gearbox. Yeah, you just threw it in, like. Of course, as long as the screen catches up, I don't know. I've broken something. It just doesn't work properly for me. It glitches out. Live show number 70. Hopefully it'll work. Maybe there it is. It's gone. It's there. 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 It's gone. One day it'll work. Live show number 70. Podcast episode 15. Of course, Binder, Schumacher, and Overtaking Lane merch. Check it all out over on our website. In the store, we got some new shirts as well, which is to be shown. Oh, there we go. That slide wants to work. All right. So we got this is my racing suit. We have some of these in a shirt and some of these in long sleeves. I think most of them are long sleeves. So check them out on the store if you want something cool for the race days and something you can work in as well in the workshop. Also, along with that, Aussie No Prep Racing, a new shirt on the store as well, and Dave's beard oil. When did that get on there? That's on the. I think that's on the website as well. So, a couple new items on there. If you've got a beard and you want to keep it tame, check out Dave's beard oil. Smells great. Live trans brake launch. All right. Well, there's a slide because Dave's doing something with those two items on the screen. So we'll we might give Dave a call. We'll phone him in. We'll have a chat to him. We will be bringing merch. We'll have it all there with us, Trevor. All right, so hopefully Dave's here. Let's give him a call and see if he answers. Yeah, Paulie's ordered too much beard oil, Marv.
Hello.
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 Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but yeah, I got to find my screen. I don't know where that is. Voice connected. Return to call. So we did better when we attempted this earlier.
Yeah. All right, hang on. Let me switch the screens now. Now people can see you.
Hey, how's that?
That's perfect. Now people can see you.
My camera clean. Hang on. There you go. There. There you go. Here I am.
You are.
Yeah, I can't see the comments, so I don't know what's going on there. But we're still in the shop. There's a few people hanging out in the background. There's the obviously the Ute.
Big Red.
Is look at that. It's off the hoist.
It's off the hoist. Are we done?
Oh, look at that. Off the hoist.
Where are we at? Where are we at now?
We're at. I haven't driven it yet, but Rob just took it for a test run and took me in it. And yeah, we went for a bit of a lap around the block, and mate, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I must say it shifts really nice, and then when you're under it, it shifts pretty hard too. So
feels a bit different being in the passenger seat of it.
A bit different being in the passenger seat, definitely. So yeah, it feels like it's got actually it feels like it's got a lot more power. So
yeah,
we didn't go too hard though. It was just a little squirt around the block, and we're going to get some Ks on the box as well. So, but the guys here have done an amazing job. There's a bit of Armstrong Racing in the background there.
Yep. Helping you out.
Well, helping me out is one way you could put it. I think I did 2 bolts.
Putting in the hard yards for you.
Yeah, I did up the bolts on the tail shaft. That was, I think that was it. I carried the exhaust in. Yeah, picked it up the tail shaft. I carried the exhaust in. The guys did everything. They did it all. So, and amazing. Like I know we did this in 3 days, or they did this in 3 days, but that was amongst, I don't know how many customer cars came through here, and everything else that was going on. Other road trip cars getting prepped as well. Yeah, it wasn't 3 days full on this. There was a lot of other stuff going as well, and yeah, it was a bit of a panic, but I was stressed out to the max. So, but
big thanks to Travis from PJR, right, for helping you out.
Travis from PJR, yeah, big shout out to Travis, because originally I asked if I could buy that one off him, and he was ready to put it in his car. So he was sort of like, look, no, if you asked me a couple of weeks ago, I would. So we got one built the same. And then when I threw a post up on Facebook, because I was pretty shattered at this point, it wasn't going to come. Toll had lost it.
Yeah.
And we threw that post up, and Mark Handful, he gave me a call and said, I was just talking to Travis. He said, come and pick his up and take it, and we'll grab yours when it shows up. So just amazing that they do that, and that got us through. And then ring Rob and say, hey, can you still do it in 3 days? And he was like, of course I can. What are you worried about, Dave? So.
And then we also had a viewer ring you up as well and offer their gearbox too, right?
Yeah, so big shout out to a guy that called me the other night, Ricky from Caminia.
Ricky had a C10 truck. It's a truck that he races at Nostalgia Drags. It's got a fair bit of, I think it was a 700 plus horsepower. I can't remember. We were talking for a little while, but he rang on Tuesday night as I was heading home from up here at Clontarf at Armstrong Automotive, and he gave me a call and said, "Hey Dave, I heard you need a box. You can come and take mine." And he's like, "Well, not racing it at the moment, so it's a pretty stout box, and if you want to grab it, then by all means come and grab it." So big shout out to Ricky though for that as well. But luckily we'd already had that one, and we'd started the process by then. So
yeah, all right, we got before
but
we
again, just yep, you're right. Comments. I can't see.
yeah, we got
comments,
yeah.
so.
I'm just about to read some comments out to you. So lots of people saying, "Hey Dave."
Hey guys.
Marv and James Bayliss said, "Shed skids."
No, not yet. No shed skids. So,
G'day Shane Kane, Shane Kane in chat as well. And yeah, dropped us $5 as well and said, "Shout Travis Schooner."
Shout Travis Schooner. Yeah, we owe him quite a lot. And Rob. I'll shout him heaps of beers on Saturday night because Mick's putting on the beers at Roadkill. So I'll give you all those free beers, Rob. I'll get them for you at least. Whenever you want one, you just Dave, and I'll go running because these guys this business is flat out, and they're doing this in between. It's just everyday servicing and stuff like that going on as well. It's a very, very busy shop. Like, yeah, I'm amazed how busy they are here, and the organising and and we've had storms roll through as well. So there was running around for moving cars and stuff yesterday before the hail come in, customer cars. Do you want to have a look at the shifter? We can at least see the shifter in here.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
Got the light there for us. There you go. So shifter's in. Look at that.
You might have to hold it there for a second. The camera is laggy a little bit. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Looks all right. Yeah, I can see it.
So it's all in. It's just neat. It's looks like it's meant to be there. I've still got a clutch pedal there just for me if I, need something to reminisce about what I've burnt once.
Well, it's good, right? Because, normally when you get in an auto, if you've driven a manual for a fair bit, you go to put your left foot on the clutch and you put it on the brake. Now you'll just put it on the clutch. It won't do anything, but... It won't do anything, but yeah.
I'm just watching now. I'm just seeing the camera work. My camera work's a bit average there, but we've got it on the TV here as well. But there, we'll have a look what else we've got there. I don't know how well this camera is going to work, but there you go. Have a look at Benny's Camaro sitting here. So 1,300 horsepower. 1,379 horsepower. Sorry, I'm shaky with that camera.
1,379. It's hard not to be shaky because it is laggy. That's probably the problem. If it was smooth, it'd be all right.
Yeah. So apologies for that, but a bit of a sizable turbo. What size turbo, Rob? Do you know? 102. 102. There you go. Massive.
102.
Massive, big turbo on there. So what was that?
I said 102. I was just repeating what you said.
Oh, yep. Sorry. I was getting a bit of lag on this end.
The Hoff's in
really
the chat
nice.
says, wow, you got it done. Those blokes go hard, though.
The Hoff says, wow, we got it done. Those blokes go hard. So, it was... unfortunately, we didn't actually get a lot filmed because the guys just had to do what they do in between the jobs, as I was mentioning. So, I couldn't be like, oh yeah, I didn't get a shot of the gearbox. Can you just pull it out again so I can, put it back in? They would have just bashed me. Would have given me a good clip under the ears and told me get out, come back when it's finished. I reckon he would have said. There was parts that it was just busy. We didn't get to film. And then, I think even this afternoon, it's been drama all the way along. Even this afternoon, we all the way through, and then we just a little hiccup with there ended up being the micro switches playing up on us. So, we couldn't get the clutch relearn to happen. And also, I think the instructions were for a different version of HP tuners, which was a little bit confusing. Yeah, for an early version of the HP tuners. So that was a bit confusing because some of the stuff we were looking for wasn't there. So, so this one will be out at Road Trip. Now the guys from from here, from Armstrong Automotive, that are all heading out. There's a number of them, as I said, doing road trip, and but they're all taking their cars and everything like they would for one of the other drag challenges. So they take it all on the trailer. What they can carry, there's no.
Nope.
Yep. So
you cut out there for a
they're
second.
not running.
They're running just the trailer, no support cars. Yep.
Yeah, so they'll run no support cars. So they'll also, do that. And then you guys are doing drag challenge for Street Mission as well. So, so they'll do the exact same thing in another month as well. So, yeah. In the meantime, Rob's been getting his car ready. Terry's been here fabbing up tow bar and parachute mounts and everything on the Tirana for Rob to run. And there's been a fair bit going on that. They had that on the dyno last night. He's still going to work on it tonight, so he's still got more prep to go. He's not finished, so he's spent all the time this afternoon getting mine happen. But we'll also have a look down here. Sorry, the camera work, but we've got Foley's Ford as well. So there's a bit of a barra. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see
I can
camera.
see it come up. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. So now this is his third turbo upgrade, I think, Rob. Yeah, so they've been stepping it up. I had a China turbo on the last one that was still doing all right, but they've just stepped it up. Put it on the dyno last night, ran out of fuel pump. Nice one, night before, one of the nights, ran out of fuel pump, so they've upgraded the fuel pump, and it got 580.
Yeah, 580.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah. So Rob just saying, I don't know if you can hear that, but Ricky from MTQ just gave him a pump and some bits and pieces, and they got it all up and running. So Foley's apprentice here, and this is the car that he drives to school. So I think he was doing some stuff for his HSC or something today, wasn't he? So so he was up there and that, then rushing down here to do some work on the car before getting it back over onto the dyno this evening. So so he'll be there running in this as well. We've got a few other cars floating around. Nice HQ sitting up.
Very nice.
In the background over here. We've got one of a couple of Mustangs that are floating around as well. So just much happening on this one, Rob?
Oh, that's just a bit of a tidy up. So
just a tidy up on that one. So
yeah, reset the springs, wheel alignment, fuel leak. So it definitely just needs a little tidy up. He bought it recently, so brought it in for a bit of a check over and do what we like to it, which is good.
And that's looking pretty good. Definitely, it looks quite nice too. So and we'll have a look. Brad's got the lights, so we might see outside as well.
At the Schumacher lights?
Or what's that? No, it's not a Schumacher light. We'll have to hook Rob up. We'll have to just give him some because we just have to give him everything now. There you go, nice old Dodge truck.
Very nice.
Same thing, just goes through all the fluids.
So he's just going through it to service. He's had this for years, this one. So and then we've got another Mustang floating around down here. This is normally full. Like this is actually probably a little bit empty out here at the moment, just because of the fact that they're closed tomorrow because they're going to be a road trip. So, but you normally cannot move here. You come down here, you got to park about a K down the street just to get here because of all the customer cars and everything that are out the front. So, yeah, look, he's been working up here for a number of years and very well known in the area. So, so everyone comes here, and they do the batteries and stuff as well. So, there's the supercharged dealer up here for the batteries. So, there's always people rolling in for different batteries and stuff. So, if you if you got the Schumacher charger on your battery and it's not charging, then you better get up here and get a new battery. So, how's that for a bit of a plug, eh? And then and that's it. So that's where I am, guys. So
now you got what, a 2 hour some trip home or something, right?
Yeah, we're gonna my first drive in the car will be a couple of hours running back to the Gold Coast to pack and get everything ready. We've got a few cars to pack and be ready to head out there tomorrow. Yep.
All right. Well, I better leave you to it so you can.
Well, I got to stop holding
finish
Rob
up
up too because he's got other cars to work on.
Yeah, they
So
better let you get
he's
to
still
it.
going.
No worries. Well, thanks for dropping in. Now everyone knows where
All
you
right,
are.
guys. Thanks, guys, and I'll catch you all later. But have fun. Have fun on your own there, Tyler.
Oh, it's great. Plenty of room.
Yeah, Foley. See, it's all happening. Foley's working away. All right. Enjoy that lonely lounge room.
See you later.
See you guys.
All right, there we go. So he managed to get it done, which is good. So it's ready, mostly. Picked up some wheels and tires, which are sitting out there. Mum picked them up today. Ready to go from I can't remember now. Royal Auto Styling helped us out with those as well. Hooked us up with a cheap set of wheels and tires there for Dave. So we'll flick it over to this next slide. Addictive Events. It's where we'll be at the weekend road trip. It's the drag challenge. It's a different version of drag challenge essentially. This time it's from Willowbank to Warwick, and then they're out at Warwick for the weekend. For this one, you can have support vehicles, so it's not as strict as the drag challenge where you can't have a support vehicle. You've got to have it in your car or in a trailer that's towed by your car. So that's pretty good. G'day Mars, how you going? Yeah, at least I'm not going to get cut off tonight. That's true, but I might run out of breath from talking too much. I won't be able to stop talking now. But yeah, so we'll be out there. Thanks to Mick. Mick Apps sets up these awesome events for the road trip, and we can't wait. It's going to be so awesome, and we can't wait for you guys to see the recap video. We'll head over into our first story now, though. I wish we could, Marf, but I've actually got to really take the time to film a lot of stuff this weekend, so there's a bit more to it this weekend than just the usual stuff. G'day DFaz, how you going? All right. This is a Tesla Model 3. If you can see it in between the flashes where it's turning off the screen. It took out the Targa West Rally, beating fossil fuel rivals by a huge margin. Street Machine said there was confusion with their name and asked them to change it, and they said no. There you go. So a Tesla Model 3 has taken out first position in the 130 class of the Targa West Rally, almost 10 minutes ahead of a lineup of fossil fuel competitors, including the second fast competitor, a Holden Commodore Ve SSV. Driven by veteran racers Jürgen and Helen Lunsman over 4 days from Thursday to Sunday, the 2019 Performance Model 3 racing for Western Australian EV charging business Gemtech became the first electric vehicle to win the 130 km/h speed limited class of the 1,000 km race. Notably, the Model 3 also beat the times of the 165 class, which is 165 km/h speed limited, coming in a little more than 4 minutes ahead of that class's winning 1999 Honda Civic. This is a testament to the acceleration of the Tesla Model 3 Performance Plus, Gemtech co-founder Florian Popp tells The Driven, also noting and thankful the efforts put in by a team of volunteers. Using a mobile charging system devised by engineer John Edwards, the team was able to stay on top of keeping the Model 3's battery charged enough to enable high-speed driving. He'll be home before the quiz. It's a quick show tonight, Scott. I don't think you'll be home before the quiz. We've got plenty of packing to do. But yeah, so this is interesting. An EV car takes the win against fossil-fueled cars. I would just say, hazard a guess, that it's basically the acceleration. Any time where they would have had to have stopped, anytime they needed to stop, the Model 3 acceleration would have gotten it ahead again. Just that instant torque. The Hoff says, let's just ignore these electric cars till they go away. That sounds like a great idea. Except for that pipe dream one where they reckon it's going to have, I don't know how many horsepower, 10,000 or whatever it was. That ridiculous one. Electric Harleys now too. Oh no, you're not going to like the next story. Yeah, no, yeah. It's a Harley Davidson announced the Serial 1 electric e-bike inspired by the original motorcycle. I don't know. I don't know why this keeps cutting out. Hopefully it stops cutting out now. Hoff's never doing an EV Corolla. Probably really expensive, right? James Bell says, but EVs are great. When all the Karens and hippies start buying them, it leaves more dinosaurs for us to run. That's definitely true. The Hoff says, I could make 1,500 real man horsepower for the same price as like 500 electric. Oh, this is the Serial 1 cycle. This retro ride will be the first from a new e-bike company called Serial 1 Cycle Company that Harley Davidson is launching in the spring. So Harley Davidson will hold a minority stake in the company, which it describes as an outsourced effort to expand into the segment. They've obviously got, I can't think of what it's called right now. The Livewire, the Harley Davidson. So that's their electric bike, but this is the new e-bike with the historic motorcycle it's inspired by in the background. Let me find a picture of that. Here we go. Let me flick over to this one. There you go. That's the story on news.com.au. That's the picture there of the motorbike that it's inspired by. Yeah, no, yeah, smells a tax write-off here. Possibly, who knows? Pricing and technical details will be revealed in November about this one, but the bike features a black frame, white wheels, and a leather seat, and a toothed rubber belt instead of a chain. So that's pretty much all I've got on that story. There's not too much more to that. But we're out of electric cars, or are we? This is the Bugatti Bolide, and it's a mind-blowing 1,800 horsepower track car. So, just wow. This is this thing looks awesome, in my opinion. But yeah, wow. I don't know what else to say about it, really. Let's read through the story from Top Gear. Thanks to Marv, posted in the Discord this one as well. Pretty much all the stories except for I think 3 from Discord from Marv. How much, Adam Gary? No idea. Or for the Bugatti, I'm not sure either. So this is the Bugatti Bolide. It's 1,800 horsepower, 1,200 kilogram downforce-tastic love letter to bleeding edge engineering and organ-bruising lap times. 5 minute, 23.1 second around the Nordschleife kind of lap times. In a low downforce setting, Bugatti claims that the Bolide could also do more than 310 miles per hour, and thanks to all-wheel drive, can also shoot from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 2 seconds. So no matter how you like your fast serve, the Bolide will dish it up. We just hope you're hungry. That is true. Marf is very good at finding news stories. Rob says, awesome looking car and goes like a cut snake to 500 kilometers per hour. Yeah, this is awesome. It looks cool. It's, you can't drive it on the road. You can't race it in a championship probably. Carbon fiber, 8-litre, quad turbo W16. What more else is there to say on this one? It's yeah, it's just wow. I don't know what else for to say. It's 1,800 horsepower, as I said, 1,842 when running 110 octane racing fuel. It's also got a lot less weight to push around, thanks to a fighter jet inspired design wrapped around a skeletal structure. The thing only weighs 1,240 kilograms, which is 100 kilograms lighter than a Porsche Cayman GT4. Some quick maths equates that to an insane power to weight ratio of 1,471 brake horsepower per ton, which is a truly monstrous figure when you compare it to the then jaw-dropping 644 brake horsepower per ton that left us speechless with the Veyron SS. That was about a decade ago. So, anyone would you buy one if money wasn't a factor? Would this make it to your buy list? Would this make it to your buy list? This isn't an EV crazy VN. This is a W16 quad turbo W16 crazy VN. This isn't EV. So we'll see what happens. Bugatti says a 0 to 311 mile per hour to 0 time of 33 seconds. So that will be very interesting. Roy says Koenigsegg does the same with 3 cylinders. Rob would buy one for sure. Would anyone else buy one? Would it make it to your buy list? Or is there another car you have in mind that's in that sort of price bracket that would make it to your buy list instead? Is there potentially a $1 million Toyota 2000 GT on your buy list if you have the money? This one here is beginning restoration in Sydney. I don't know if it's this one. One of the rarest Toyota models ever made is being restored right here in Australia. A very rare 2000 GT Toyota sports car has begun its restoration journey in Sydney. Toyota Gazoo Racing Australia announced that the 2000 GT's restoration kicked off at a workshop in Sydney in recent days. Only 351 examples of the 2000 GT were made between 1967 and 1970, with 9 of those being delivered to Australian customers, making it one of the rarest vehicles to ever come from the Japanese car maker, and one of the most valuable. In 2013, a yellow 2000 GT broke records when it sold at auction for US $1.2 million, with auctions in more recent years fetching around $1 million depending on the condition of the car. So Toyota Gazoo Racing has this one here, which I'll bring up on the screen right now for those of you watching live on YouTube. If you're on the podcast, you'll have to get over to YouTube to see this photo, or check the story out in the show notes. There you go. So that's it there. This is from Car Advice, this story. So that's, I'm guessing, what they want it to look like in the end, but I think this is the one they have. I got a bling. Paul McBride, thanks for the follow. G'day, Mad Dad. How you going? It is a very cool Toyota, Mal. One that I would definitely own if I had the sort of dollars to purchase one of these. Marv says they're restoring this with the new reproduction panels they just launched recently for the 2000 GT. Oh, there you go. Awesome. Very good. I think we possibly did a story on that, right? I don't remember. And I think I mentioned about Nissan producing parts for the old GTRs, right? As a collaborative project between Toyota and Yamaha, the 2000 GT featured a 2-litre 6-cylinder sourced from a Toyota Crown, but developed by Yamaha to produce 110 kilowatts and 175 newton meters. While lackluster by today's standards, in 1967, American magazine Road and Track called the Toyota one of the most exciting and enjoyable cars we've driven, offering performance on par with the Porsche 911. Styling was heavily influenced by the Jaguar E-Type, with the final product being led by Nissan designer Albrecht von Goertz, the man who penned the BMW 507 and is widely credited with creating the Nissan 240Z's iconic shape. Despite echoes of the E-Type in the 2000 GT's design, the Toyota was more expensive than the Jaguar, at around $9,200. The car was ambitiously priced against Ferrari models of the same era. So, would anyone own the 2000 GT if you had the chance? Would you pull the pin on that, or are you not a fan? I don't think they're going to want to put a barrier in this one, Crazy Van. G'day, Streetcar Culture. How you going? I would certainly take the opportunity to own one of these. I think they're an awesome looking car. Scott Sherrington would love an old Corona. Roy says 1970 Corona. No More's doing a Barra and a VN sedan. That'll be pretty cool. Marv says 2JZ only for it. No Barra or Dirty Mang motor. Of course, Dang. That's exactly right. More the question is there a car that you would rather own instead of one of these? If money wasn't an object, what sort of car would you be picking? What sort of car would you want to buy? James Baylor says still stylish, so yeah, I'd take one. Styled well ahead of their time, that's for sure. Roy says the Corona was awesome. Toyota Corona, that is. Should add that in. On to the next story. Leave those comments below. Let us know what car you would buy if money wasn't an object. Or if money wasn't a problem, I should say. So I started this story, right? I looked at this story. I thought, what a great story that'll make. This is every car leaving the Australian market in 2020. This is a list. So this is one of them. Matty Crick would own a Shelby Cobra. Mars says my LXSS is better looking. Roy Ferntorp says Mark 1 Capri with EcoBoost. Mad Dad says drop the front end 3 inches and I might think about it. Dang Dang says 2000 Hilux but with the motor in it. What sort of motor, Dang Dang? Maybe that's where the money would go. Maybe you would buy some motor that you really want. Who knows? All right, well, this is an Alfa Romeo Giulietta. Alfa Romeo's smallest, cheapest model will end global production sometime this year, almost a decade after it was first introduced. So it's leaving the Australian market. Marv says money no object equals 9FF tuned 911 turbo or Carrera GT. There you go. Johnny Skidpig says 8/71 supercharged big block Chev built for turbo 400 glide and 9-inch for the Skidpig. Very cool. That would be very cool. On to the next slide. Got to lean all the way over here and press the button. The Alfa Romeo 4C. These are a cool little car. Carbon fiber thing. And very cool. Leaving the Australian market in 2020. G'day Rat Fink. How you going? Scotty S. Yeah, I would have one, but I'd prefer an old box like a Corolla. 120Y fastback, Mustang Celica, Chauvinot's Corolla Mark 1 Escort. Crazy VN says, if money is no object, buy a VC 273 Val. See you no more. Thanks for dropping in. Next is the Bmw i8, also leaving the market in Australia. A total of 155 of these have been sold since the car arrived in 2014. Adam Geary would own all of them. Trevor Smith would settle for Hoff's 2J Corolla. Mad Dad says, why did they name the Alpha after a female? No idea. Johnny Skidpig says, or a VF Club Sport R8 GDSR W1. It does, Mel. It does. And they go pretty quick for the size of the engine. Mars would own a helicopter. So you'd get out of the drones and start flying helicopters. Moog did just get a Lotus. I did just finish watching that. Next on the list, the BMW 6 Series Gran Turismo. In mid-2020, BMW had made the decision to drop its 6 Series GT offering from Australian showrooms after less than 3 years on sale here. I'm guessing they just aren't selling enough versions of them. Mick, it is. They've finished. He's probably either on the road now or just about to be on the road to head back home for the 2-hour drive back home. First drive for him in the car. Rob's taken him for a spin in it, and yeah, it's ready to go. It is ready. Next on the list, the Chevrolet Camaro. Another one leaving the market in 2020. There are no plans to bring back the Camaro. Dang Dang's a 69 Charger probably, because you're a good old boy. Next on the list, the Ford EcoSport. Ford Mondeo. Marf says, yeah, Marty and Moog are no longer Marty car mods. They're now daily driven exotics. We're going to start rattling through these because there's a lot. Holden Astra. Holden Acadia. And then I stopped adding photos because I realized how many cars there were, and I think I would have ended up with about 2,000 slides. So I'm going to rattle through them. See you then, Mick. Sounds good. Dan Jazz says, I'd get a mid-2000 VW Golf 2-litre NA. Hang on, I got one. Roy says, 120Y fastback with a noisy Nissan double overhead cam engine. Rat Fink would like a 1970 Hemi Cuda. Very cool, very cool. The Holden Colorado, of course, a lot of these leaving for a very obvious reason. The Holden Commodore. Dang Dang says, there's Tyler's homework this week, Dukes of Hazzard, the original series. I just finished watching, actually, Borat, the new Borat movie. Borat subsequent movie film. I just finished watching that over the weekend. That was a funny one. I enjoyed that. Had a good laugh. Cheers, Trevor. The Holden Equinox, Holden Trailblazer, Holden Trax, Holden City. Some of these Holden models I didn't even... Honda City, if I can read. Honda City. I was thinking, I didn't even know Holden made a city. I thought that was Honda. I've still got to watch Cannonball. I'm trying, Mark. I just forget. Midnight Spares. Just write. Someone needs to write a list and actually post it in Discord. Maybe I need to make a channel in Discord that says movies for Tyler to watch. And then I can tick them off as I go. I can put a little emoji tick at the bottom for each one that I watch. The Honda Jazz, Honda NSX, Infiniti Q30, Infiniti QX30, Infiniti Q50, Infiniti Q60, QX70, the QX80, the Jeep Renegade, Kia Optima, Lexus GS and GSF, the Mercedes G Professional, the Mercedes-Benz X-Class, the Renault Clio, Renault Kadjar, Renault Zoe, Subaru Liberty, leaving the market, Toyota Prius C, and that is it. I will make that channel now, Marv. Movies for Tyler to watch. There we go. That channel is in the Discord now. Borat 2 was gold. I had a good laugh at that movie. That was good. On to the next story. Something that might please a few viewers here. Fast and Furious. Movie franchise to end, says a report. This report states that the 11th movie in the Fast and Furious saga will be the last. News out of the US has claimed that the 11th Fast and Furious film will be the very last in the long-running movie franchise. According to a report from Hollywood news website Deadline, Universal Pictures has tasked director Justin Lin with wrapping up the series, with a storyline expected to stretch across the final two films. The latest movie, F9, The Fast Saga, was expected to be released in early 2020, but was delayed a full year due to the coronavirus pandemic. By the time the 11th and final film is released, the Fast and Furious franchise will have spanned more than 2 decades, with the original film coming out in 2001. The car-themed action movie had characters work on both sides of the law, but street racing with modified cars was always central to the storylines. Was it in the later films? I don't really think it ended up that way. Featuring exotic supercars, American muscle cars, and famously Japanese sports cars. The original Fast and Furious film, released in 2001, introduced the Japanese tuner scene to the wider community and is thought to have been responsible for developing an interest in cars among many young people in the early 2000s. About time, says Marv. Streetcar culture says finally. Oh, the Kia Optima isn't going. It's being renamed to the K5. Oh, there you go. Scotty S says there's going to be a flood in there after the live stream tonight. Yeah, I know. It's going to be full. There's definitely going to be so many movies in there that I'll like. If I played them all on a list, I'd probably be, I don't know, a year older by the time I finish them all. Rat Fink watched the first Fast and Furious. I was done after that. So, I am on to the last story, however. Holden's best production cars from motoring.com.au. Scotty Sherrington says 2 decades and more than 1 trillion gear changes in the one race. We have mud here, Trevor. Just mud. No concrete yet. The Hoff says, I watched Sausage Party again last night. That was way harder to watch than the first time. So the quiz will be coming up after this story. Paige and Scotty S, our 2 quiz competitors tonight. Rat Fink, what did I do with Dave? He's out at the moment, putting the gearbox in with Armstrong Automotive, but that's all done. The Ute Big Red has been changed from a manual across to an auto with a turbo 400, built turbo 400, ready for this weekend. So he's they basically finished probably no more than an hour ago. So yeah, I thought you'd be pretty happy, Scotty. Not tired this week. You're ready to win, but then next week back to the normal shows. You might be a little bit more tired. Of course, Hoff. I need content. I got 6 stories. It's a bit different when you don't have someone to bounce everything off. I guess I could have programmed a bunch of different Dave lines into here, but all I have is this one. Ego boost. So, Dave, what did you think about that Holden? Ego boost. Oh, yeah. And what about the Bugatti? Ego boost. Oh, and how's the auto in the Ute? Ego boost. Marv says, I thought a sausage party was every day at Nugget Garage. There you go, Marv. I read it for you. Mad Dad, no more smoky clutches. That's right. He can't smoke the clutch now. He still has a clutch pedal, so he might try. He'll be thinking about it. Cryptics, how you going? G'day. What do you think about Marv's comment, Dave? Eco Boost. Oh, there you go. Dave thinks Eco Boost. All right. So, on to Holden's best production cars from motoring.com.au, this story. The GM Holden Design Studio in Port Melbourne officially shuts tomorrow, Friday, October 30. It opened in 1964. It was a cutting-edge copy of the General Warren Studio in Detroit, just in miniature. It really was the bee's knees, says Richard Filazzo. For the size of this country, it was a massive commitment. All the elements needed for a proper studio were here. It was a big call. Filazzo joined Holden's design department from Toyota in 1988 and rose through the ranks to become the final leader of what has most recently been known as General Motors Australia Design. Just fueling up and on your way home. Oh, there you go. Beck's got an update for us. Mars is getting a Mellings 18% high flow oil pump fitted this weekend on the LS1. There you go. Yesterday, Filazzo guided motoring.com.au through the greatest concepts to emerge from this studio. Today, it's the production cars. If you're wondering why the 48215 isn't here, remember that was done way before the studio opened and was fundamentally a US design. I need my boozy sidekick. Hang on, let me swing over. Yeah, it sounds good. How about the next one? Did you hear about the lights at Sydney Dragway? I don't think anyone wants to hear about the lights, Dave. Not anymore. Dingus Malingus, how you going? The Hoff is in the chat. He is a legend. But I do need my boozy sidekick, Shane. I do need him. It feels weird without drunk Dave. Yeah, it is a bit different. But the Holden HK Monaro, the 1968. While Holden had its advanced new tech center up and running in 1964, the reality was local designers still struggled to gain freedom from their American bosses in Detroit. The design of the EJ/EH and the HD Holden that replaced them was dictated from the US. The HR was a pleasing local evolution of the HG, and then came the new generation HK. While the mainstream cars were straightforward, Holden's designers planted their flag with the Monaro two-door coupe. A pillarless two-door Kingswood developed under the direction of Joe Szymanski. The Monaro was the first Holden passion play. It appealed to the heart with its swooping lines rather than the way other 3 and 2-box Holden spoke to the head. It broke cover 6 months after the rest of the HK range and came in everything from a 186 to the fire-breathing V8 GDS 327 that went on to sweep the rostrum at Bathurst. And Filazzo says the Monaro, even today, that is a very elegant 60s coupe that was probably because of its size, and the same goes for the cars that followed it, including the HQ, was probably better than its American counterparts. It was a bit smaller, and if you look at some of the Chevys and Pontiacs, they look a bit heavy. Ours felt more taut and more athletic. Monaros are still large cars, but not by American standards of the day. So what's your thoughts on the HK, Dave?
EcoBoost.
Just EcoBoost. Just EcoBoost. Good stuff, Huff. Holden LC Tirana, 1969. Let me switch over the slide. Not as feted as the larger LH LX Tiranas that followed us, the LC was actually based on the platform of the smaller 4-cylinder HB Tirana. Extending the platform and moving the front wheels forward enabled the fitment of a 6-cylinder engine and the long bonnet look that is a cornerstone of Peter Nankervis' swooping and elegant design. It's not hard to see influences here developed into the iconic HQ Holden a couple of years later. The ultimate version of the Tirana was the fabulous GDR XU1, made famous by Peter Brock's falcon-slaying performances at Bathurst. Filazzo says, some of your readers may not agree, but I think the LC is a fabulous effort. I didn't know until I started here and talked to Peter Nankervis that it was based on HB. It's such an elegant little car, it's almost a coupe with its very fast line off the roof into the tail lamps. That was pretty daring in those days. It was a sporty coupe-ish thing that could be 2 or 4-door and translated very well into performance versions of in the GDR and XU1s as a look and a shape. I think it's a fabulous effort. Designing an all-new car is one thing. A greater challenge is when you are heavily restricted. So, the LC Tirana, this story again from motoring.com.au. If you're on the podcast, you can find it in the description. If you're on YouTube, it's possibly in our Discord somewhere. That's usually where they end up. Roy had to go with the Brahm 307 and Power Glide, really slow. Mad Dad broke 2 diffs in second gear. All right. Next one. And Rob said the HJ is better. I'm sure Dave would think so. The Holden HQ range. A sedan so good looking it remains among the very best designs ever produced in Australia, let alone by Holden. Oh, geez, there's a big blurb there. But I don't know. I think HQs look awesome. Probably one of my favourite of these. So of the old school Holdens. The HQ. Love a HQ. See plenty of them when you go on the HQ run. Massive amounts. I think 300 or something. Probably even more. I don't remember. I'll have to check out the video that we did from the HQ Holden run. But a massive amount of HQs all in one place. All right. I ain't even going to read half these comments. Adam Gearis has got 3 of them. G'day, Charles Galea. How are you going? Matty Crick says HQ Statesman. On to the next one. The Holden Vn Commodore 1988. Like its predecessors, the VB VL, the VN owed much to GM's German division Opel. However, it grew in size to match the rival Ford Falcon. In terms of design, Holden made a concerted effort to chart a more independent course with the local interpretation of the aero look so prevalent across the industry. The SS V8 joined the VN range as a full-time model when it had previously been a homologation special for racing. It would go on to become a cornerstone of the Commodore lineup. Filazzo says, the VN was significant even though it is very clean and simple. It was in that era of aero with flush glass and things. I can't say it was a beautiful car, but it was an important car because it turned our fortunes around. Dang Dang says the VS was better because I owned one. Mad Dad says still have my HQ, always starts. Good stuff. Streetcar Culture says, what have you started in chat, Tyler? You don't have the guts to read out all the comments. No, I don't. Not now. I can't read some of those. Dan Jazz says HK, T, and G for mine. Matty Crick says the VN are awesome. Crazy VN says Mang Mang for life. The Hoff says, if we all say inappropriate stuff, Tyler will run out of content. If you keep doing that, I'll just keep plugging along with the stories and it'll end soon. Dang Dang says VK, VS, VX, VZ. They're the best ones because that's what I've owned. James Bayless has got a HQ and a VN. Dan Jazz says the VN tail shaft shutter will never die. Do you still feel it? Mal says VN was my first new car and worst new car. There you go. How about the VT? 1997. Mum says HG and HJ for me. The VT, I know someone in chat has a VT here. G'day Graham, how you going? And a VK. Roy says HG with 308 and Saginaw is awesome. Hopefully I pronounced that right. VT for Lynn. That's the one person I knew who had one in chat. Like the HQ, 26 years earlier, the third generation Commodore VT-VZ delivered remarkable style and outstanding versatility. Under the direction of Michael Simcoe, these days in charge of GM design globally, Holden's design has flourished. The VT, for which Filazzo led exterior design, was a big sedan that could be graceful or sporty, depending on the details. It could also be simply huge, as the wagon proved. The VT, for which Filazzo led exterior design... Oh, I just read the same line I just read. It evolved into a ute, the fabulous long wheelbase, WH Statesman and Capri, and then, with the ambitious Holden chief Peter Hannenberger relentlessly driving the organisation onwards, became the basis for the third generation Monaro, which in turn spawned the reborn Pontiac GTO. The Adventure all-wheel drive wagon and crewman dual cab ute the VT Commodore simply eviscerated the rival Ford Falcon AU, I wonder why, in the sales race, selling more than 90,000 examples in its first full year. Dingus dropped a like. Cheers. Cryptics HKHJ VHVNVY. Accidentally closed the chat. Dan Jazz says VT was a step in the right direction. Did drive well, heavier no doubt. Matty Cricks has just got a WH Statesman, loving it. Good to hear. Mad Dad says VS Ute, great fun in the wet. And Mum says, oh, and the VE. Graham says, good mate, did I miss where Dave is? Bet he's playing with his box. He's finished. The gearbox is done. He's actually driving the Ute back home now. So he's got probably about another hour and 40 minutes ahead of him. Mad Dad says, traction control, the fun killer. So Falazzo says the VT was a milestone car. It is a beautiful car, even though once again sprung off the Opel at the time. There were no common parts though. The only bits we kept were the front side door glass and the B pillar cover. It had to be widened and lengthened and all sorts of stuff. It's not because we didn't have the capability to do a clean sheet design. It was purely political. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. What's wrong with these German cars? They're good enough for Germany. They are good enough for Australia. They weren't. So we made them happy by using the Opel as a springboard, and then we'd say it needs to be wider and longer, and our engines are different, and this and that. Before you know it, there's nothing much left. By osmosis, you end up designing a new car. I remember we got a lot of flack from the Ford designers saying how bland the VT was. They would tell us, watch out for the AU. Cheers for the follow, Dingus. Streetcar Culture says, you internet people actually socialise? Sometimes. G'day, Archimedean Eye. How you going? The Hoff says, we'll take the HP Tuners dongle to the track in case the ECU has a spaz about the auto conversion. It shouldn't though. Hopefully not. But cheers. Dave will be much appreciative of that. Mars says, love my VUI SS Ute. 500 plus horsepower on tap and can't wait till I run in the Mantic 9000 series clutch and smash third with the new rip shift. Yeah, Trevor, they said watch out for the AU. Watch out for it. So, but apparently the VT forced Ford into spending $500 million on the mightily impressive BA midlife update to get back into the large car fight. On to the next one. If I press the right button. Holden Commodore Ve. The last Commodore was the best, the longest lasting, and the most expensive to bring to the showroom at more than $1 billion. The ambition underpinning it was huge. While large car sales were diminishing in Australia, Holden had developed the new Zeta rear and all-wheel drive architecture so it could be the design and engineering homeroom for a variety of models for GM's multiple brands around the globe. The fifth-generation Chevrolet Camaro was the best example of what Holden hoped to achieve. There was also the popular Pontiac G8, a V8 Commodore, and the Chevrolet PPV, a police car based on the Capri, an SS, another Commodore V8, but they were rebadged rather than rebodied. Tightening fuel standards, the global financial crisis, GM's bankruptcy and the axing of Pontiac ruined Holden's grand plan. The course from there to the 2017 factory closure pretty much ran in a straight line. Nevertheless, as a design, the VE was a brilliant success, capable of shape-shifting depending on requirements, and the flourishes added to the beautifully proportioned base package developed by Peter Hughes. Later, Falazzo would drive the creation of the stunning sports wagon, a complete change of philosophy for Holden wagons, and among the best-looking vehicles ever produced in this genre. The VE gave way to the VF in 2013, a convincing update. It included such sons as the VF2 SSV Redline, affordable, incredible fun, and so good-looking. What a way to go out. Falazzo says, we saved the best to last. The ingredients were there. We had a large rear-wheel drive vehicle with a long dash to axle, and we fought hard for the short overhangs front and rear. It was a lot of vehicle for the money. I can't think of anywhere else in the world where you can get a vehicle of that sort of spec, size, and mass for the money. The size of the A-pillars were criticised, but that was an engineering thing, not a design thing. And that's a function of the strength of the vehicle. It was probably overcooked, but then you had to realise that the A-pillars were common with the long wheelbase, the ute, the wagons, and all sorts of things. Hence the rockers were heavy, the B-pillar was heavy, and so was the A-pillar. We were developing SUVs to rival the Ford territory, but we just couldn't get across the line because we couldn't get an export market. I was thinking we shouldn't give up on wagons, although the Americans were saying, wagons stink, no one wants those. They're for middle-aged guys who aren't getting any sex. But the fact was there was always a European-style wagon lurking in there. We didn't create the sports wagon concept, but I think we produced one of the best examples of it. Streetcar Culture's dropped us $5. Buy a Big Mac, mate. You're doing a great job. Cheers. Thank you. Let me scroll up. Dingus says the AU Falcon definitely took on a new personality. Johnny Skip Pig is replying to Rat Fink. Roy says at least Ford used an Aussie engine. Marv says V was last developed. VF was a refresh. The Hoff says they definitely got it so much better on the VF. And the last one here. The last one in the story. I forgot to switch slides. That's also was in the story. The last one here. The Chevrolet Blazer 2020. The Port Melbourne crew were either responsible for or contributed to many international designs through the years. The 7-seat version of the Chevrolet Blazer that went on sale in China only months ago is a classic example. While Filazzo doesn't nominate it as one of the studio's greatest design achievements, he highlights it as an example of the sort of work that the versatile Holden team could and did address with skill and flair. Filazzo says, there are many concepts and production cars that we worked on that were never seen here. The Blazer 5-seater was developed elsewhere, but the 7-seater was our job here in Australia. And that sort of is the end of the story. Roy says GM never promoted the SS Commodore. The Ute could have sold bucket loads. Definitely. Well, that's the final story. So we're over to the quiz, where our quiz challenges are waiting. Let me jump in there.
His mother lived until 90.
Good evening.
Hello.
Oh, good evening.
Hello, how are we going?
Good, how are you?
Very good.
Good.
All right. Dan Jazz says, I switched to Ford during these years. Probably wrong in ways that, as that LS is a good thing. All right. Well, how are you both tonight?
Not too bad.
Yeah, good.
Not-
Good. Still awake.
Still awake? Not too tired this week?
Not as tired, nowhere near. So hopefully I've got half a chance.
All right. Well, all 10 questions have been done by Marf again. So maybe Paige
Yeah.
has a chance as well.
So I'm screwed
Well, you won last week.
by fluke.
He alleges they're harder this week.
It's just not what I want to hear.
All right. Well, I got to take score too, so hopefully I remember to do that. Not used to this. Better switch over to the right thing. All right. Marv says, after last week's upset, Sports Marv has closed the odds in here for Paige versus Scotty. Last week I was paying $4 for Paige and $1.20 for Scotty, but this week Paige is paying $1.85 and Scotty is $1.90.
Well, I reckon I'm a good bet, so...
All right. Well, your buzzer, please, Paige.
Paige.
And Scotty.
Scott.
Perfect. All right. Question number 1. What country has the fastest production car in the world? Is it A, France, B, Sweden, C, Germany?
Scott,
Scott?
it would. Who got that?
You
Yeah.
did, Scott. You got.
Okay. It cut out. Sweden.
It is not.
Oh,
Germany.
And you should have let me read out the last one. Or is it
the
D?
last one.
Is it D, USA? Is it USA? The answer is D. Shelby Supercars SSC with their Chu-Atara reached a top speed of 331 miles per hour and two-way average of 316.
I would not have got that, even if you'd read it out.
All right, so 0-0. We did talk about that one last week, though. A bit of a memory question. Question number 2. How many Aussies have won the Indy 500? Is it A, 1, B, 2, or C, 0?
Page.
Scott.
Paige?
B.
It was not. Scott?
C.
It was not 0 either.
Oh,
It was 1. The only Australian winner of the Indianapolis 500 is Will Power, who achieved this in 2018.
I didn't think Will won it. Okay.
I forgot the music as well. My bad, Marv. I did change the slide now that it got called out. So points go begging yet again. Better use Dave's line. 2 questions down, no points, 0-all. Question number 3. What was the first HSV model ever sold? A, VL Walkinshaw, B, VNSS Group A, or C, the VL SV88? Scott?
It was the VL SV88.
Correct. Well done. While the Walkinshaw was the first model that HSV developed, it was sold as a Holden. The first official HSV sold was the SV88, which had the same 304 cubic inch motor, but carburetor fed and a lot less power.
And if anyone wants a set of genuine sides, front mould, for one, and side mouldings, I've got them.
There you go.
Don't know why, but I've got them.
Question number 4. Which circuit in Japan is known as the home of Time Attack? Is it A, Suzuka, B, Tsukuba, or C, Fuji?
Page.
Scott.
Paige?
Fuji.
Scott?
It's Tezuka.
A or B? Suzuka or
A.
Tsukuba? No. It's
Oh,
B.
sorry, no, it was B.
It was B. Tsukuba? Tsukuba? I don't know how to pronounce it. Marv should have put a pronunciation in for this
I
one.
misheard you.
Marv should have put a
not
pronunciation in
Suzuka.
this one for me. Suzuka or Tsukuba? I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's Tsukuba.
All right.
Anyway, I answered it wrong.
Points go vegan. Scott, points after that one. Scott 1, Page 0. Question number 5. In what year did Daniel Ricciardo debut full-time in the Formula 1? Is it A, 2010, B, 2011, or C, 2012?
Page.
Paige?
2011.
Scott?
I told Marth no bloody Formula 1 question. 2012.
Well done. The answer is C, 2012. Danny debuted at the 2011 British Grand Prix for Toro Rosso, but he became their full-time driver in 2012. 2-0 to Scott. Question number 6. Name the 3 people who host the show The Grand Tour.
Page.
Paige?
Are you talking about Hammond?
Mm-hmm. It's one of them.
Oh, crap.
Need the other 2.
I know their faces. Richard Hammond. Oh, gone. It's gone out of my face.
All right. Scott, can you get the other 2?
The Grand Tour, it's the same guys who hosted Top Gear.
Their names are.
Same 3. Hammond, May, and Richard Hammond, James May, and the most famous one of them all. What was his name? Oh crap! I'm gonna be kicked for this, not kick myself. Oh. Hammond, May, and I just can't think of his name.
Jeremy
I get
Clarkson.
2/3 of a point. Jeremy Clarkson!
Jeremy.
Oh, Christ! Oh, my God. Do I get 2/3 of a point?
Marv said he wants all the names.
Oh, what a bloody mental block that was.
All right, 2-0 still. Question number 7. True or false? The Stewart Highway in the Northern Territory has no speed limit.
Page. True.
Scott, you want to take a guess at what it might be?
False.
Well done. The answer is false. While there was a time where the Stewart Highway had no speed limit, in 2016 there was a permanent 130 km/h speed limit placed on the road.
There you go.
And actually, it's not a speed limit on the road. It's a state maximum speed limit.
Oh, there you go.
So it's unlimited. It's still got the black circle, like the cross, so the black circle with the cross through it, but it's limited to the state speed limit, which is 130.
There you go.
Because of people in supercars killing themselves and others.
Yeah. Question number 8. What YouTube star has cars named Leroy, Ruby? Scott?
Gareth Mitchell. Cletus McFarland.
There you go. I could have accepted the first one, but I did want you to say the other one.
Yeah.
Well done. 4-0. Question number 9. What 3-day car event is happening this weekend?
Page.
Paige?
Road trip.
Correct. 1-4. Question number 10. In this week's video, what didn't go to plan for Dave this week? Scott?
Toll probably didn't go to plan, would be the correct answer.
Well, you're technically correct.
Well,
You're technically correct. You are
didn't go to
technically.
plan.
You are
His gearbox didn't turn up.
You are technically correct. So I can give you half a point, but Paige, you can take home a full point here. Because that wasn't the answer that's written here. While he is technically correct, that is something that did not go to plan this week. What didn't actually go to plan fully?
Well, the no gearbox turned up. The first one's still offshore. The second one didn't turn up at all.
No, that wasn't it either. I just was looking for a simple answer. His gearbox swapped from manual to video. His gearbox swapped from manual to auto. That was all I was looking for.
Oh my!
But he got that.
He has now.
Exactly.
But
He got it. No, this week that happened,
It
Tyler.
didn't go to plan for the.
Sorry.
It didn't go to plan for the
You've
You've
video.
got to give us a point each.
Yep.
Marv's in the chat and he said, "Not what I wrote," with sunglasses, face, and a thumbs up. And so Scotty takes the win out there. Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you.
Congratulations. The crowd goes wild.
Yay.
Sorry, Paige.
That's all good.
Sorry, Paige. You get out of it next week.
That's fine.
But the bonus question: who were the Muppets who lost Dave's second gearbox?
Page.
Paige.
Oh, I already answered that.
Paige.
Toll.
All right, well done, Scott. We'll see you back again next week, of course.
No worries.
Chance to
We'll
take
see you then.
chance to take another shirt now. We finally got extra shirts on there because we've owed you a shirt. So I will ask you now, which one do you want first? Do you want the race suit long sleeve, or do you want the Aussie no prep if Dad hasn't already sent one out?
I don't know. I'll message you in Discord because I didn't get on the shop because it wouldn't open up for me, and that had been flat out since last week, so I forgot to look.
Oh, no worries. Well, let us know
yeah.
if Dad hasn't already sent one
whichever.
out. So no worries.
I've only seen the long sleeve one, but I'm sure both are good.
So plenty of new ideas. There's plenty of shirts coming in the coming weeks. It's more just when we when we think of a design now, getting the designer to design it.
Yeah.
So
If your dad hasn't sent one out, just get him to hold off, and I'll come up as I come past. I'm coming up at Christmas as long as the border's actually open.
there you go. I think we find out tomorrow whether the border's open.
I think we do. Yeah.
So
Yep.
see what happens.
Yeah. But if they actually open, I'll be up at Christmas. So
Oh, there you go.
just before. Yeah.
No
probably
worries.
the week before.
Not a problem. I'll if he hasn't sent one out already, I'll get him to hold off for you. But if you if you can't make it up, then we will send it down to you.
No worries. All right.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show. We'll see you back again, Scott.
No worries.
Scott next week, and possibly Paige if the bot picks you. So hopefully the bot gets some variety. We seem to get the same people on the show every week. But yeah, that's all fun of it. You got to be in it to win it. So not many people are entering it these days.
Everyone get on it.
It's just a bit of fun. That's all it's for. We're all here for a laugh. You can win a shirt if you win 8 weeks in a row. Or some skids in the crust eater with Marv if you get 16 weeks. All right. Thanks for coming on, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
No worries.
Bye.
See you, Tyler.
See you, Scotty.
See you, Paige.
All right. Jump into Discord. As Mum also said, if you have any suggestions for shirts, put them in the Discord. The Discord link is getting posted in the chat by Nightbot. Click on that. It's free to sign up. It's a chat room. Basically, you can chat with everyone after the show. I'm in there. Dave's in there. We chat in there. I chat in there sometimes. I'm trying to chat in there a little bit more nowadays. Dave probably chats in there a little bit more than I do. I usually just send GIFs when people mention me. But I'm trying to be better at chatting to people. But that's where you can enter the giveaways. There's also potential of exclusive giveaways when we get around to doing them in there as well. So you got to be in there. You got to be in there to win it. Johnny says the box swap taking a toll. Yeah, and I have a shirt that says Twaps in the toll logo style. I'm just posting up the next giveaway for quiz challenges. Actually, no, I am wrong. He's up against Paulie next week. So Paulie is up against him. So this one that's going down in here is for the 12th. Let me put that one in there. Let me fix this. So normally Dave talks to you guys while I do this. But instead it's me. I'm here. So 10 days. You have 10 days to enter. Get into Discord. Enter it. You could be the next quiz champion. You don't know unless you try. And you've got nothing to lose. So get in there. Give it a go. So get in there. The giveaway's there now. Jump in there. Give it a go. Have some fun. Let me edit that message. Send that out. There we go. Jump in there. Enter the giveaway, guys. Have some fun. That's what it's all about. James Baylor says the new one of the racing suit, you should also do an Xmas version of it, saying this is my only Xmas tree. Good idea. Good idea. Marv says Paulie versus Scotty next week. I'm ramping this puppy up to 11 in a difficulty. Dingus says when the Discord gets like the KFC car park. Trevor, I don't actually think so. I don't think they've located it yet. I think at the moment it's all up to the sender at the moment. G'day, Chris Young. How you going? And of course, on the end of the show, Flick it over to this. The Marfhoff wheel. It's time to spin it. Who's going to take it home this week? Is it Marf? Is it Hoff? Who knows? The wheel is slowing down. It's slowing. It looks like it's going to be the Hoff. I think it's the Hoff. It is the Hoff. Congratulations, Hoff. Chris, 20 minutes in, quiz time. It is. Dave isn't here tonight, so it's just me. Quick show. We got to get ready for road trip. I also have to switch over and quickly do a what's on. Let's quickly switch over to a new tab, as you all just saw me do. Facebook. Let's have a look at the events. Thanks, Matty Crick. Thank you. But congratulations, Hoff, taking another week on the wheel. 15-9. He's pulling a lead back on you, Marf. He's activated the nitrous and he's taking some W's. Of course, this weekend road trip, that's where we will be all weekend. Camping, having some fun, drag racing, whatnot. It'll be cool. Let's see how Dave goes with the auto. I'm sure everyone will be anxiously waiting to see how he goes. No clutch burning this time. Gold Coast Hinterland Retro Picnic and Car Meetup, bar food and live music at 231 Bow Desert Nerang Road, 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. on Friday night. Petrie to Redcliffe Cruise, 7 p.m. from older Petrie Town markets. Night shift car meet and cruise. Let me see where they're meeting up, 7 p.m. That is 502 Hope Island Road at Helensvale. I'm not sure where they're meeting up. The Toy World / Good Guys section of the car park. That looks like it might be Helensvale Home World. Saturday, October 31. Autohouse Storage presents Caffeine and Machine, all Porsche edition. Autohouse Storage, 6:30 till 9 a.m. Breakfast at Joe's Diner, 7 a.m. till 10:30 at Joe's Diner. Go and check that one out. It's just off the highway. Awesome food, very cheap, and usually a good turnout of cars out there. 7 till 1 p.m. Caffeine and Gasoline at the Boatworks Drive, Coomera, Espresso 25. Yena says, Dave should be nearly home, eh? Live stream of an auto launch down the street. We will see you tomorrow, Hoff. See you then. Street Series Round 7 is on at Willowbank on Saturday, 3 p.m. till 9 p.m. 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. Cardi Gras, Barnstorm's Coralban Car Show. That was cancelled. Never mind. Don't go to that one. 5 p.m. till 10 p.m. The Halloween Spectacle. That was cancelled. Don't go to that one. 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. Queensland Cruising Sunshine Coast Car Meet, 82 Pinata Drive, Palmview. Go check that one out. Queensland Cruising, long-time supporters of the show as well. And that is it. I can't see anything on. Oh no, Sunday, November. Sunday is November. There we go. That's it's next month. Shows on next month, which is this Sunday. Morning Mayhem. Also, long-time supporter of the show. High Talk. If I can get their names right. High Octane. Sorry. High Octane Motorsports Photography. Go and check that out. Morning Mayhem at Queensland Raceway. Go and check it out. Go and have fun. That's always good. I think it's sold out though, so maybe you might get passenger laps if you know anyone out there. Cheers, Dan Jazz. Chrome Bar Bonanza, number 2, Lakeside Park, 7 a.m. till 4 p.m. 7 a.m. till 11 is Blackout Caffeine and Classics, Blackout Coffee and Catering. 7 a.m. till 9, Kitchen 8, all Japanese cars and coffee. And that's it. That is it for the weekend. Thanks everyone for tuning in, as always, to Overtaking Live. A bit different this week without Dave. A bit of a shorter show. So, time to go and pack everything ready for a big weekend. Should be fun though. I can't wait till you guys can see the recap on that one, the video. So, should be good fun. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Streetcar Culture. Thanks, Scotty. Let's scroll through here. Usual show back next week. It is Chris. It will be back. That's not good, Chris. Rat Fink says Daytona Turkey Run 2020 November 26 to November 29. There you go. Thanks, Rat. Cheers, Rob. Thanks, Sienna. Yeah, thank you. Cheers, Mad Dad. We might see you over the weekend if you come out to the track. Thanks, Maddie. Thanks, Mum. Rat's off to work. See you, Rat. Have a good day. But I might leave it there for everyone. Leave you with a song. We'll press one of the random buttons, and we'll pick a song, and we'll end the show. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay in that right lane.